stage is an incredible woman who is she's a producer, a television personality, a science communicator, a journalist. She's from LA. She's won an Emmy and a Knight Foundation award. She currently co-hosts and produces the Saturday morning television show FabLab on Fox Reports and on local issues for SoCal Connected on KCET. She's a regular contributor on Real Future on Fusion, and she also hosts a really cool weekly science podcast called Talk Nerdy with Cara Santa Maria, and also co-hosts the popular Skeptics Guide to the Universe podcast. I am so excited to hear from Cara Santa Maria.
I'm wondering if we shouldn't give it up one more time for John Delancey. How am I supposed to follow that? Good afternoon, Reason Rally. How is the largest gathering of atheists in the country doing today? Nice. Guys, I am so incredibly excited to be here, and forgive me for this. I know I'm not the first to do it. I won't be the last, but I have to take a selfie from the podium. Hopefully you guys are okay starring in it. Let's see. My mom will be so proud. My Mormon dad, probably not so much. All right, guys, I want to get serious because today is a historic day, and it's one that follows a rich and proud history of moral progress that took place right here, guys, where we are standing in the shadow of giants. It is right in this place that Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. told Americans at the March on Washington about his dream, and 2.5 decades earlier, when the Daughters of the American Revolution refused to allow Marian Anderson to sing, she came to this very place, and she performed for an audience 75,000 strong. She inspired a generation of African Americans, of women, and of many other historically disenfranchised people that they have a voice and that they are the heart of what makes this country proud. And now, here we stand, proud atheists, defending the values that so many brave women have fought for, have spilled blood for, in order to pave the way for our freedom, for our ability to just be who we are, no matter what our difference is, to say what we think loudly and proudly, and to enjoy the individual liberties that are promised by our Constitution. Because, you guys, the First Amendment is not a privilege. It's not a suggestion. It's the very first in our Bill of Rights. It is a right that every American is born into, regardless of our politics, our race, our gender, our religious preference, or our lack thereof. It's this right to peaceably assemble, like we are doing right now, and to make our voices heard, and to enjoy the freedom from religious oppression that our forebears fought for, that we continue to fight for up until this very day. And these values were not delivered to us from on high. They were not bequeathed to us by some almighty power. They were discussed. They were calculated. They were researched. They were measured by mortal men and women of philosophy and of science. And make no mistake about it, the First Amendment protections are inextricably linked to the civil rights movement, to women's suffrage, to protections of LGBTQ individuals, and to how we care for our brothers and our sisters that are struggling with poverty and sickness, with mental illness, and with disenfranchisement. It is our moral imperative to stand up for those who so often historically could not stand up for themselves. And it is this reason, for this reason, that I bring you this rally cry Come out, proud atheists. Make your voices heard. Set an example for those who cannot, for those whose lives are at risk simply for speaking up for what they truly believe in. Continue to pave the way. Live in fear and show the world that atheism is not a threat, that atheist Americans are good, hardworking, moral people whose cause is informed by truth-seeking, by science, and by reason. And I implore you to make your voice heard the most important way possible. You must go to the polls. You must exercise your civic duty and vote for the representatives that best reflect your values as a secular American. You must fight for legislation based on evidence, not on emotion. There are so many threats to our civil liberties and secular values lurking in our midst. Climate denialism, anti-vaccination, anti-abortion, fears around transgenic organisms, anti-evolution rhetoric. These issues, people, they transcend political parties. They can only be settled using reason and using science, and the data are in. Climate change is real. It is a terrible threat, and we are contributing to it every day we do not act. Vaccines save millions of lives, and to deny their efficacy is to deny the right to health and happiness for millions of Americans. A woman's body is her right, her property, and hers alone. We cannot allow ourselves to backslide into the patriarchal thinking of the past. Genetically modified organisms, we'll see how popular this one is. Transgenic crops are the most studied form of agriculture on the planet. Not only are they safe for human consumption, they are absolutely necessary to feed a growing population on a warming planet. And evolution. It's the underpinning of all life on Earth. It informs us of our shared history and our shared future. And to deny its existence as a fundamental process is to deny the very process of science that informs it. It is a detriment, a basic attack on reason itself. We must make our voices heard. We must use the mighty pen to vote, to urge our representatives to speak on behalf of we the people, not corporate interests, not powerful lobbies, but we the people. And we must continue to fight for the rights of all Americans, regardless of race, of class, of gender, or religious preference. This is what it means to be a secular American. This is what it means to be an American atheist. Thank you.
Keep it going for Cara!